This is gonna be weird. Like,
Yeah, it'll take some getting used to.
it's okay if the first one's bad.
Yeah.
Because right now, all of our patrons are like our friends, basically, and they love us. So even if I think they'll like it, maybe better if it's bad.
If it's funny and chaotic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Christina Kahn,
And I'm Leela Hilton.
and this is Burn Before Reading, the podcast about shiterature.
Here we are on video to discuss the terrible writing we did when we were younger and touch on some cringy literary topics.
You heard us right. We're on video, and you could also be seeing us right if you wanted.
Yeah. We'll see. We're going to try to keep an open mind, but if we hate the video, it might still only be a podcast.
If we hate the video, you won't be hearing this because I'll cut it out.
Yep. Okay. So true.
But hopefully you're watching the video. We have always wanted to introduce video to the podcast because look at us. We're beautiful.
We're so cute.
And now that I have my own little apartment, a perfect little femme wonderland, we just took the opportunity to say, fuck it. You know, you're never ready. You're never quite ready. Penny's doing a bath right in the middle of this, you know, like it's never going to be perfect. We're going to try our damnedest to make a fun little video for you. I mean, we're going to be just sitting like this the whole time, but I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be cool for you to really see a peek behind the curtain of what it looks like to record.
So to speak. Yeah, it's weird. I want to make eye contact with everyone at
I know.
once. Yeah, but here we are in my apartment to record yet another wonderful episode of Burn Before Reading.
Woo, the podcast about shiterature.
Yeah, you're so right. Penny, can you do something cute instead of bath time? Okay, goodbye. Don't step on the computer. She did. It's fine. You want to get us started?
Tina, what has been cringing you out lately?
What's been cringing me out lately is that before we recorded this episode, both me and Leela tried to shit and both of us only farted.
Yeah, I hate an unproductive shit.
I wonder if it was the like Pavlovian response of the old podcast wives' tale that if you are about to record right now, that's when you have to shit.
Yeah.
Like I would like all the time I'm like scheduled to get on Zoom with them at like 7 or whatever, and you've texted me like 18 times being like, you shitting?
It's true. And so maybe you're saying we really don't have to shit, but our brains,
our bodies are like, it's shitting time.
Yeah.
Well, we did also just eat Mexican food too.
Yeah. It was tasty.
It was tasty. So that's my cringe. Leela, what's been cringing you out lately?
Oh my God. Okay. So I found something out. I was with a lot of family this weekend at a wedding. And my sister, she told me something and now I'm mad at my mom. So, okay.
Wait. Oh, you're going to tell us what it is?
Yeah. Okay. So
oh my God, this is so funny because in the Discord server today, our friend Cedar was like, I just learned some family lore that is like changing my perspective on my whole family. And I was like, tell us.
Mine's not that deep, but basically, okay. So I love Julie Andrews and I always have.
It's about Julie Andrews.
Yes. It's about Julie fucking Andrews.
Okay.
So I loved her a lot. Like, especially like I loved to read her books. Like she's a very good writer, at least from what I can remember. Yeah.
What do you like? Children's books?
I would say like middle.
Julie Andrews writes middle grade books.
Yeah, surely not this day, but
I have literally never heard of this in my life.
Yeah, it's like there's this. It's like a very cute. Like I remember there's a very cute kind of like Secret Garden-esque type of book that she wrote that I was obsessed with. I think there was I read 2 of her books and I loved her. Obviously,
you're blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, and I was just such a big fan. I read her autobiography and I was obsessed with her, and obviously saw every single thing I could that she did.
Yeah,
and so I wanted to write to her and just like let her know how much I loved her. And so I found her like fan club and I wrote to her.
Dude, do you remember what a thing fan clubs were when we were kids? They were fan clubs don't exist at all anymore. Like it's more like stan type like fan shit.
Yeah, there's not, I don't think, like as much direct engagement except for like on a platform like Discord. Like,
yeah, and like social media just made it so weird. But like in the olden days when all we had was pen and paper and stamp, fan clubs were like a real force.
And they like might have even like written back, you know, or like sent you something signed.
Yeah, they had like systems in place for like responding to fan mail.
So I wrote to her and I sent it off. and I got back this beautiful autographed picture of her, and I treasured it forever and had it framed in my room for forever. And my sister told me that my mom told her that she lied to me and my mom autographed it.
That is a true betrayal.
I know. Okay, so this is something my mom does. Like she's like, apparently Josie said, mom said, I just wanted to make all her dreams come true. And here's the
how old were you?
I want to say maybe early high school.
See, that's too old to be lying
It's
to make
too
you. If you were
old.
3, sure.
Yeah, and this is a thing that my mom has done that I feel like is a real problem.
I can think of a couple other instances.
Yeah, like I'm thinking of off the bat, it's when Jason had like a real art gallery that you came
That is
to.
the instance I was thinking of that I was like, maybe I won't say
No,
that
I'll
one.
say it. No one in my family listens to this. So yeah, just because Jason had an art gallery that was like a real art gallery where like people could buy your photographs, and we didn't have high hopes. You know, a lot of
There
people.
was a lot of art.
It's a lot
It was
of-
like a giant building.
Yeah, but somebody did end up buying his picture, and he was so excited, and he was like, I feel like, wow, someone really like I don't even know respects my photography. And right before we went, I was like, hey Mom, Jason asked me specifically to please don't buy this. Like it would really mean a lot to him if like it just if it wasn't just somebody, if it wasn't just my mom buying
like
his,
a pity purchase.
Yes.
Yeah, like obviously.
and she was like, okay, I promise.
Like when he wants you to have a photo, he will give it to you for Christmas.
Yes, and he has and still will probably.
I have one he gave me for Christmas. I love it.
Yeah. But she went ahead and bought it anyway, and
That's
tried
fucked up. That's fucked up.
and she tried to keep it a secret. But then when the check came, it was like $50. When the check came in, it had her name on it.
Obviously.
And Jason was like furious.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And like,
I mean, fucking yeah.
it always comes from a sweet place. Like she
But this-
wants us to feel supported and whatever.
But the sweetest place is listening and trusting when people say what they need.
yeah, because I'm just so hurt that I'm not hurt that Julie Andrews didn't get back to me. I mean, that's I did not expect a response.
But you like held this item in esteem. It had
Yes,
value
I
to
had
you. That
framed in my room like an idiot.
Yeah, that's harsh. I'm gonna close my bedroom door real fast.
Okay.
Don't worry, guys. It's a skort. That is something to think about in future.
Yeah.
But it is about to be winter time, so I
I'll be
still have the microphone. The cord's really long. Future recordings will have tights anyway.
Do you want me to keep that one open?
Yeah, it's just because of the AC that runs in there. It turns on and off frequently.
I see. 1 second.
Well, that's fucked up. Oh.
Something we can't really edit out.
Can't
you guys
edit
are
it
gonna
out.
see how many times I sneeze.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a lot.
the fun thing about the video is like I'm not fucking editing video. I'll trim the 5 minutes of troubleshooting at the start, but I'm not going in and editing.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a one shot scene.
So yeah, I'm very irritated and
I'm mad at her
hurt.
too. Yeah, that's
So-
really. And so, did you confront her about it?
No, I mean, because it was at the wedding and my mom was like is planning a lot of the wedding and just running around like crazy.
Yeah,
So
that was the wrong.
I
time.
I wanted her full attention.
Yeah.
I literally tried to get attention from her. I was like, do you like Josie's makeup? Because I did my sister's makeup, and my mom knew that, but she fucking forgot, and she was like, yeah, the girl did a great job. And I was like, Mom, the girl is me.
The girl is me. That's gonna be the name of this episode.
The girl is me. Anyway, yeah. So that's my current cringe.
Yeah, that's fucked up. My mom told me something about The Sound of Music that ruined my life.
What?
You might already know, but if you don't, I think it'll upset you. The Sound of Music came out in what, 63?
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's not like I've been raised in my life talking about Sound of Music lore. Like it was almost 30 years old when I was born. Do you want a pillow?
Yeah.
Okay, I just took this one to get out of the
I just
shot.
want to cover my belly.
Aw, thank
She
you.
whispers into the mic.
I love your belly.
Thank you.
My mom texted me randomly like a year ago and said, Christopher Plummer didn't sing Edelweiss.
Oh, fuck.
I was like, Mom, can't you untell me that?
I hate that.
Sucks. Or like, it's not his real voice. Like I don't know. I don't remember if somebody sang for him or if they did something
This
to
whole
it.
time I thought he had this rich baritone.
It's like the best thing about him is that he
Yeah.
hates Nazis and he is the voice of an angel.
Yeah, and he loves his wife.
And he loves his
Especially
silly
his dead wife.
His
And his
Oh,
not
yeah.
dead wife.
wife. He has like 2 pictures on either side of his bed. Our friend Courtney, who was on our recent 9/11 episode, has always said that she tells her husband that if she dies, he's allowed to move on, but he has to keep a portrait of her in their bedroom, him and his new wife's bedroom, and every night before he goes to bed, he has to say, "I love you, but I love Courtney more." And she has said that to me enough times that it's not a joke. Like, that's real.
That's like that's a really good idea, and I think I might steal that actually.
So guys, before we get into the episode, I want to take our video watchers on a little tour just of like what they're seeing here, because I'm proud
Okay.
of my apartment. You know, I'm recently divorced. This is the first time I've ever lived by myself, so obviously front and center is the pink bong. I'll have to like examine the video to see if keeping it was a good choice. I think it's pretty. It's like a cute bong.
Yeah.
Her name is Hailey Cyrus. And the bowl piece is a butterfly. So like I think the vibe is good, but if it is, and it's like in between us, so we'll see how it goes. I brought out some of our favorite books that you may be able to see. I got my Twilight blanket, which I drove an hour to pay $15 for. It's not as big as my body, but it is the only blanket on the couch, so I've slept with just it all curled up in a ball several times before. We have my gallery wall up here. I don't really know how high you can
cherries
see.
are off.
Yeah, it's battery powered and it dies really quickly.
Oh.
Yeah, the cherries light up. You got to come back in the next video to see them lit up. Got this picture of my mommy and my Dee, my grandma. This pear that my friend Alexis painted for me. The infamous Thanksgiving portrait from Bob's Burgers. If you know, you know.
The schlongs.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
My
Got a
nose
little
is like
whistle to
whistling. That never happens. Of course, it's while I'm on video.
And your tissue box is
Oh yeah, the tissue box
not as being
is
used.
holding the phone. Yeah, guys, no. I have a
kidding.
very professional setup. We're not recording on my phone being propped up on a tissue box by my grinder. Guys, how do people just do podcasts? It's such a struggle for us every week.
There's just like things that you just don't think about. You know how like I feel like everybody's like, oh, everybody has a podcast, so it must be so easy.
It's easy to do a bad podcast. Yeah.
I guess that's true.
I've done it before and I'll do it again. So we're in my living room. Over there is my office. Over here is my bedroom. Right there is my kitchen. That's the whole building, baby. No. That's the whole apartment.
Can they see your cute lamp?
Maybe. I don't know. I hope you can. Yeah, probably. I think you could see the doors in the shot. This is my cute lamp, which I love, and I read by it. This is my side of the couch because the TV's right there, and I'm very nearsighted. And we'll be reading today on my iPad, which has some fun stickers on it. You probably can't see, but I'm gonna do it anyway. We got Bloom Bros. That's the weed delivery service in town. I got the sticker that says I got a lobotomy at Claire's, which I also have a t-shirt that says that, and I'm pretty sure I got this in a white elephant party. I think Mary Clay brought it to the party and I fought for it. We got Barbie, we got a Cancer the Crab, we got a bookstore, we got a rainbow hot girl smoking weed. The back's better. Oh god, I wish you could see. Maybe I should post a picture of this on Instagram.
Yeah,
because we got Edward Cullen, we got Alice pitching, we have a sticker that says you nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness monster. We have Molly McIntyre, the American Girl, and her sign, she's got a picketing sign that says American Girl. Wish I wasn't. And of course my dad would be like, you have so many freedoms in this country, you have no idea how privileged you are.
Yeah. If you hate it here, why don't you try living in Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
And I'm like, that's just
my dad's not like an idiot conservative, but he definitely glorifies the American ideal because he's a rich white man, wouldn't you?
yeah. He's like, life's been great.
And then last but not least, this big sticker that says it's transphobia, not transphobia.
which is great. Can I see that? I think so. I haven't actually seen some of those.
Yeah, I love my.
I love the Alice.
I took one off right here because I was gonna put a new one on it. My new one says English majors doing it for the money, but there's not enough room, so I have to like wait for something else to wear away.
Love it.
Thank
Some
you.
Great stickies.
I love my IPID. So today, leaving it in. Oh my god, Mexican food. Today we are going to be reading. I think I've mentioned this before, and you've been exposed to some of this before. That I have very many starts of books. I loved to start a novel and never ever finish. You know, when I was in high school, maybe a little bit in middle school. When I was in high school, there was one novel I did finish, and I think maybe we should. It's like 200 pages long. Like I think maybe it's juicy and silly, kind of like Jazz's Confessions, but a little more mature. Maybe
is it longer than Jazz's Confessions?
Yes.
Is it The Last Ginger?
I do have a book called The Last Ginger, which is a good book.
Okay,
but
well,
I'm still willing to read it on the podcast and
no,
make fun
let's
of
not.
it because there's funny stuff to make fun of in there. Like it's a dystopia. There's a lot of like tropes that I fell into. I think the writing's good, but like there's still stuff to make fun of. Maybe you and I can read a little bit of it together and see if it seems good. The one I'm talking about is the one that I wrote when I was like 16 about a 16-year-old getting pregnant and it being amazing because I really glorified teenage pregnancy. So I think we should read that in full because it's just like it's got a lot going on.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, I did write that one book in high school. It was called Wishes on Airplanes, which is a reference that
definitely doesn't date it at all.
It doesn't. Well, yeah, it dates it twice as hard for me because it actually came out before the song. Like
what?
This came. No, I'm saying this dumb. I conceptualized this title before the song came out because me and my high school boyfriend Ari like had an encounter where I was like, oh, there's a shooting star, make a wish, and he was like, baby, that's an airplane, straight up. And so that joke I wrote into the book because at the time I was like, everything that's ever happened to me is special and perfect. So that's where like the title came from. So I think it predates the song by like 3 or 4 years because I think came out when I was like a freshman in college.
Yeah, that sounds right because I think I was in my senior year of high school when that came out.
I remember getting yelled at by my freshman roommate for playing that song too much. So,
that's
why I think it was like new. I think it is a good song.
It's great. I love that song.
Talking too much. Gotta.
I'm gonna tie you down and set the bed on fire.
What?
That's from that song. It's Eminem, you know.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
Forgot
it's
about
like
that.
Sometimes it's like Marshall, the tone. Let's read the room.
Read the room. So. And then I've written several books since then that are good that I will not be roasting on this show because they're good and I hope to publish at least one of them sometime. But today we're going to read the beginning of a novel that I wrote pretty early on. I would say between the ages of like 13 and 16, let's say. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oop, longer than I thought it would be. That's okay. Maybe we'll do it in like 2 parts or something. But we're gonna do it the way where like we'll read it until there's something interrupt me or like I'll stop to roast something or like you know. We'll just do it until we hit the old hour mark. Oh, what do I do with these gams? What do I do? Okay, I'm actually gonna do it this. Oh god, I forgot that it does this. That's why.
Oh yeah, that's so much better.
So much better, and the font is gigantic. Are you okay not reading it?
Yeah.
Okay, like not seeing it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If you're having trouble, let me know. But it will be like much harder to like. The viewers can all see how much you yawn. I cut out a lot of Leela yawns.
It's not because I'm bored. I'm just sleepy. I'm a sleepy girl.
It's okay. We still love you. We know you want to be here.
Yeah.
So this one is called Jack in the Green. Stop me when you know that all of my works at this time were derivative. Nothing was original. So stop me when you realize what I'm ripping off here.
Okay.
Molly Everhart didn't like the idea of growing up.
Peter Pan?
It's Peter Pan. It's Peter Pan. Molly was almost 13 and she looked it too. She was just about 5 feet tall with a healthy, strong body. Her wavy golden hair reached halfway down her back. Molly was a brilliant child but had no interest in boys whatsoever unless she was playing with her brothers. Molly's 2 brothers were both younger than her and looked up to her to no limit. Christopher was 10 years old with a head of floppy brown hair like his father. David was 6 and freckly with curly blonde hair like his mother and sister. The 3 didn't act like most siblings. They usually got on beautifully and typically only argued if they were playing. Words and language had always fascinated Molly. She loved reading books of all sorts, especially fairy tales and plays. She had all of Shakespeare's major works almost completely memorized and could recite Marlowe without a moment's hesitation.
What is that?
Okay. So I'm going to move when I think I wrote this because I did not know who Kit Marlowe was until I was like 16.
I didn't know until right now.
He's a apartment living. Someone's making a fuss in the hall.
So rude. We're working.
I never ever see anyone on my floor. Like I never ever run into them. I just hear them.
Okay.
So that's all.
All right. Great.
Well, but they're still making noise. So.
Oh.
Oh no, they're done. Okay, perfect. Christopher Marlowe. Have you seen Shakespeare in Love?
I actually haven't. Isn't that crazy? I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Still.
we could totally cover that for this podcast. It is definitely literary enough.
It's literary.
Let's
yeah.
do that soon for like a cozy Christmas episode or something.
Oh, okay. Is it Christmassy?
No.
Okay, great.
All right, let's do it for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, because it's really, really fun. It's so like Y2K. But anyway, Christopher Marlowe was a playwright who was a contemporary of Shakespeare. That's all. Some people think that he wrote, you know how there's some question about if Shakespeare like existed or like wrote his own work. So
yeah.
like, some people think that Christopher Marlowe might have written some or all of Shakespeare's shit, but he has his own plays. I studied them, can't remember them. I know that I probably thought I was a brilliant genius for dropping his name like this. But I took a Shakespeare class when I was a sophomore or a junior in high school, so I would have been 15 or 16. So I'm actually going to bump up how old I was definitely 15 or 16. I did not. Well, but Shakespeare in Love, though. I watched that when I was like 8. Who knows? Who knows when I wrote this?
I took a Shakespeare class like outside of school that my parents paid for.
Really?
Yeah, like out after school.
To what end?
In the city. Yeah, I know. It was
like a theater class or like a literature class?
I guess
mine was like a literature class.
It was theater, I guess. But we learned a lot about like the basics and the rhythms, and we did a lot of monologues. But
yeah. I took a literature Shakespeare class. Wait, what else was I gonna say? I had something better to say. I think the fact that she is, what is she? 13, it says?
Almost 13.
She's 12 years old and she has all of his major works almost completely memorized. No, I don't think I knew how many major works there were back then. Fucking tight ass Andronicus.
She must have like photographic memory or a touch of the tism.
What is Robert Langdon in like the Da Vinci Code has it's not a photographic memory, that's fake. It's like an eidetic memory.
Eidic memory?
It's like EIDIC, or maybe I'm missing a syllable. Yeah.
Okay. Photographic memory is not real.
I don't think it is. I think that eidic is like very close to a photo. My main character is going to remember everything and be really, really good at history and art. Like, okay, so name one flaw?
Yeah, that's true. Flaws make characters more interesting.
Dude, I would love to cover a Dan Brown book on this podcast if you can bring yourself to read one. They're kind of fun to get through.
I read the Da Vinci Code like 1,000 years ago.
I reread it in the last 2 years. I reread it.
Okay.
And like, yeah, sure. My smart friends say they're books to make dumb people feel smart.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Victimized. Like,
I mean, like, I think that's like probably the same for like Andy Weir. Reading Project Hail Mary made me feel like a genius.
Oh my God, I'm listening to that again right now. I'm re-listening to it and I am like, oh my God.
I don't like how smarmy his voice is in the audiobook, but
really?
I get that's
Interesting.
I guess that's kind of the point. That's just not how I interpreted it in my head with his voice when I read it.
I agree, but I also really like the narrator's voice, so I've gotten used to it.
Plus, you get the cool,
No spoilers.
the cool aspect of the.
Watch the movie. Can't wait for that movie to come out. I'm really excited.
Yeah, wait, who is it? It's Ryan Gosling, right?
Oh, it's Ryan.
That's crazy.
He can do anything.
Okay,
I love him.
I love him, and I just hope it's. I hope it's not as cringy as millennial cringe as the Mars one, The Martian.
What? I think The Martian's so good.
Yeah, the movie has a lot of stuff of like that just happened, and like,
Well, you have
I'm
to
gonna
remember,
science the shit out of it.
You have
and,
to
like-
remember. No, you are so right, but you have to remember that these books are always like one man in space. Like you have to. The whole book is taking place in their heads. You have to like get it out somehow on screen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it like Jason's dad was watching that like on TV when we were over at their house, and we saw it in the theaters, and I remember really liking it, but we were like watching it and I was like, we were both like cringing.
Oh, I need to rewatch because. Why? Because did I maybe
Just
I
for
reread
fun?
it recently. Yeah, maybe I just wanted. I've been wanting to rewatch it. I've been trying to get Greer to read it since he likes Project Hail Mary so much.
Yeah.
And The Martian is, I think Project Hail Mary is his strongest, but The
Okay.
Martian's pretty close behind.
Yeah, very similar type of.
And then he has a third book called Artemis, which is about a girl, and it's like not as good because he's not as good at writing female characters, and it's like a space heist. It's like a totally different tone.
Space heist.
Kind of fun. It was
Oh.
still fun. I still recommend it. Okay.
Will we get through the second sentence?
What, are we going to get through all 10 of these pages? Absolutely fucking not. Words and language had always fascinated Molly. She loved reading books of all sorts, especially fairy tales and play. Oh, yep, read that one already. Shakespeare Marlowe. It was the second week of August when Mr. Everhart arrived home from his work at the bank, announcing that he had a surprise for Molly. What is it? Molly asked excitedly, following her father into the kitchen as he took off his coat. He set the coat and his briefcase on the table and grinned at Molly, knowing that it was driving her crazy not to know what he possessed. Do you want it? Mr. Everhart teased. Yes! What year do you think this is? Because I don't know, so I'm going to guess too.
I'm guessing it's just written in present time, like the year that the book came out.
Okay. I'm going to guess that I was trying to put it in like 1910 or whenever
Oh.
fucking Peter Pan was written.
Okay.
Perhaps we shall find out soon,
It's
or
like-
perhaps we shall never find out.
It's like there's nothing you've read that gives me any context of.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Okay.
Maybe I never say.
Well, we'll see.
Mr. Everhart reached into the pocket of his sports coat and procured a book. It was small, only 100 or so pages, and very old. It was black but faded in many places, with nothing written on the cover or spine. Molly knew to touch it gently as she took it from Mr. Everhart's hands. She cautiously opened it to the title page. It said simply, Lesser Known Tales. Molly studied it for a moment. Tales of what? She wondered aloud. Mr. Everhart shrugged. I don't know, but this little book just looked like it would interest you. Does it? Molly didn't answer. She had sunk down into a chair at the table and was completely lost to the book. Oh, to be a young girl reading.
Yep.
Yup. Molly had finished the book by the next evening. She was a fast reader. Tremendously faster than anyone in her grade at school, and significantly faster than Mr. and Mrs. Everhart. After finishing it in so little time, Molly proceeded to read it to her brothers. They were almost as infatuated with it as Molly was. When they were finished with the games they played... Wait. My poor punctuation is confusing me. When they were finished, comma, the games they played began to shape into the wondrous fantasy of the book. Stand tall, warrior! Wait. Stand tall, warrior, so I can slay you fittingly. David stood up on Christopher's bed and pointed his wooden sword towards the ceiling. There's a scene exactly like this in the 2003 Peter Pan.
Yeah. Yes.
He leapt onto the toy chest as Christopher drew his own makeshift weapon from his belt. You should talk, said Christopher, taking a futile jab at David. You're hardly 4 feet tall yourself. Oh, God. Uh-oh. Oh, God.
What?
Okay, I'm just gonna read it, guys.
Oh my God.
At that moment, Molly jumped in from the hallway. The natives are coming.
Oh no.
I didn't read ahead. Okay, guys, Peter Pan. Okay, Peter Pan.
Well, I guess at least you said natives.
The natives, repeated the boys together. Christopher quickly stashed the pretend swords under his bed as David and Molly did a quick cleanup of the room. They put the toys back into the toy chest and the headdress, oh God, and plastic armor into the closet. The three had just tidied themselves up and sat down neatly on Molly's bed, facing the door, when Mrs. Everhart knocked softly on the door. Kids, she said, opening the door and peering inside. She took a step into the room and frowned at her orderly children. Well, isn't this odd? No wrestling, no sword fights, no nonsense going on. Molly nodded. Yes, Mama. It seems like it's in the turn of the 20th
Are we in
century.
England?
I'm doing it Britishly because of Peter Pan.
How
I
is
think.
mama spelled?
It's spelled like mama.
Yes,
M-A.
mama.
Yes, mama.
Yes, mama. Yes, mama.
Yes, mama. I like the way Becca calls her cat mama. Mama says, when things are this easy, it makes me uneasy. David spoke up. Don't worry, Mama. I'm getting my voices confused. They all have high-pitched voices. Okay, then, said Mrs. Everhart in satisfaction. Aunt Harriet will be here soon. Get dressed. Aunt Harriet, groaned the three children. Aunt Harriet was Mrs. Everhart's older sister, much older, who acted more like a grandmother who had gone to Catholic school and then sent to a convent for the rest of her life. Yes, said Mrs. Everhart. Your father and I have to go to a dinner party at the bank. Oh, just like Mr. Darling.
Wow.
And Aunt Harriet is coming to babysit. Molly sat up rigid. Couldn't I babysit, Mama? David and Christopher enthusiastically agreed. It would be fine, Mama, said David. I'm gonna start. It would be fine, Mama.
I like mama. You can keep it
Mama
going.
sounds right.
Yeah.
Said David, hopping up and throwing his arms around Mrs. Everhart's waist. We could watch ourselves. Mrs. Everhart shook her head and pulled David off of her. No, she said. This is better. For now, Molly's just too young. But Mama, reasoned Molly, don't you think that it's a bit silly for Aunt Harriet to have to come all the way down here from East Compton?
Wow, that's a plot twist. Straight out of Compton. It's not where I would have guessed that Mama and the family lived.
Okay. I need to defend myself.
Okay, go.
The road outside my neighborhood when I was growing up was called Compton Road.
Okay.
So I'm sure I got the name from that. But that's crazy. East Compton is so crazy. Don't you think that it's a bit silly for Aunt Harriet to have to come all the way down here from East Compton just to babysit us for one night? It's over an hour's drive. I'm spelling babysit with a hyphen, which it doesn't have.
That sounds British.
Babysit.
Yeah.
That's the only error so far other than that one dropped comma. Mrs. Everhart tried to conceal her discontentment from her children, but they could see through the smile. No, which is why she's going to be spending the whole weekend with us. Mama, said Molly disbelievingly. Why would you let her do that? Because she's my sister, and I'm not completely heartless, said Mrs. Everhart. You're not heartless at all, Mama, said Christopher. You're the nicest mother we've ever had.
Suck up.
In the whole world, David added. Mrs. Everhart walked over to hug her three children. Thank you, she said. The children embraced their mother. After a minute, David spoke up. Do we really have to dress fancy? I know one of them should have had a speech impediment to help me out here. I don't remember which one's younger. Not fancy exactly, said Mrs. Everhart as she let go of Molly, David, and Christopher. Wasn't David one of the boys? The boys in Peter Pan are David and Michael.
I don't know if that it's David.
It's definitely Michael. What's the other one?
John. Yes.
I remember Michael because my brother's name is Michael. Okay. I picked really similar.
Yeah.
The biblical names.
Yeah.
She walked over to the closet. Just nicer than usual. Mrs. Everhart pulled matching khaki pants and green polo shirts. That, I do think, dates this as not at the turn of the century.
Yeah. Well, maybe you just didn't know what.
Oh, surely not.
You know.
She pulled them from the closet and laid them each on David and Christopher's beds. Then she went to select Molly's outfit. After staring at the closet long and hard, Mrs. Everhart brought out a sundress for Molly to wear. It was the only dress Molly owned. She's not like other girls. We don't wear dresses in this house. A dress! Cried Molly as her mother laid it out on her bed. Mama, I haven't worn a dress since that church picnic we went to with Aunt Harriet. You can wear it today, Molly, Mrs. Everhart said pleasantly. For me, please. Molly looked up into her mother's loving, understanding face and knew that Mrs. Everhart only wanted to make her big sister proud. Molly rolled her eyes. Yes, Mama. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, we're only at 40 minutes. We can do a bit more. Well, what are you thinking so far? She's got a bunch of Coke.
Big Coke girl.
Coke head.
Yeah, very Peter Pansy. I'm interested. Peter Pansian. I'm interested to see where it is. Is this a fantasy type book?
I don't even know if I got far enough along to make it fantastical.
Too busy world building.
Yeah. Well, also like this is like beat for beat. I haven't read the book. I actually got it out of a little free library recently. We maybe should have read the. I've wanted to cover it on the podcast because it's like
Peter
classic
Pan?
Children's literature.
Oh yeah, it's great. I've read it before.
So I don't know about the book because I haven't read it before, but this is beat for beat exactly the movie so far.
Specifically, exactly the
2003 Jeremy
Jeremy Sumpter.
I was that's why I thought I wrote this a little earlier because that came out in 2003 when I was 12. I saw it in theaters, instantly obsessed. I watched it so much. I remember the first time I got left home alone for more than like an hour, I was 12 or 13. I remember it was around my birthday because I was stuffing my birthday party goodie bags, like favors, you know.
I thought you were going to say I was stuffing my bra. I was like, what is this, 13 going on 30?
I did that though.
That's fine.
The boobs have always been really small.
And you're stuffing your party favor bags.
Yes.
Okay.
And my parents I don't know where they went with my brothers. I don't remember at all, but I remember being home alone for like 15 hours, like all day I was home alone and I watched that movie 10 times. Like that's all I did. When left home to my own devices, I watched that movie over and over and over again. So it's like deep in my psyche.
Yeah, you probably have it memorized, like even still.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I say that are like that's one of those that I quote without anyone ever clocking it.
Yeah.
Like the one I do a lot is Hook is trying to like bait Peter Pan to be like sad so he can't fly anymore. And he's like, when he's gonna go home, she's gonna replace you with another and he will be called husband. And he says that word so ugly. I love to say husbands are terrible. I mean ours oh wait, not mine, hers. Sean's a good guy, guys, okay, but Leela's, you know what I'm saying, like husband. I just love the way he says it, and it's like a close-up of his face with his ridiculous wig, fucking Jason Isaacs, and he's like husband, and Peter's like no. Okay, I'm weeping a little bit still from the East Compton thing. Aunt Harriet was not a petite woman.
Okay, rude.
She was noticeably taller than Mr. Everhart, with a bigger rear end than any other the children had. Bigger rear end than any other. Oh my god. Than any other the children had ever seen. I don't know why I was having trouble with that.
And a bigger rear end than any other that any other children have seen. There's too many any others.
No, I repeated myself. There's only one.
Oh, okay. She got a dumpy.
She's got a dumpy and like Remember Aunt Fanny from Robots?
Yeah. I love that
thinking
bitch.
of. And like, hey man, I was 15. I was really skinny. I had no idea what an ass I would grow up to have someday. Okay,
Did you
It's
didn't-
cool to have a fat ass.
Were you skinny and you still had like a little
Yes.
girth to your butt?
I definitely always had like hips and ass for
Yeah.
sure. Like I wasn't scrawny.
Yeah.
But you couldn't have called me pear shaped. It was so barely. Yeah, I was 5'9" when I was like 14, 15, 16, 17 until I got to college. I was 5'9" and like 140 pounds. I was very slender.
I was gonna say my question is like when did your big growth like spurt your tall
8th grade.
spurt? Okay,
When my boyfriend was 5'5".
just because
I mean like 6th, 7th, 8th. But I finished growing in
well
like
you
8th
noted
grade.
that this girl that Molly is only 5 foot.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was
A shrimp.
maybe it's because Wendy's little. I don't know. She's just a little girl.
It's true. Wendy darling.
Her hair was graying, but she had covered it up with a hair dye in a very unnatural shade of red. It's giving like spinster phobia, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I learned recently, actually, no, not recently, but I read somewhere at some point in my life that a spinster is only from like ages like 25 to 35 or something, and after that you like graduate to like a different slur for being alone and a woman.
Oh my god, what's the next stage?
I don't know.
The final form.
I don't know. You want me to Google it?
Yeah.
Okay.
A-train.
Putting it down. The last thing I don't use my iPad very often, and the last thing I looked up for some reason was Zion National Park. Oh,
Because
we were talking about what's the last national park you went to, and I guess I was like, wait, was it this one?
yeah, I was just Googling national parks near me so that I could tell you.
A thornback. Isn't that cool? Like a dragon.
That's dragony.
A
Thornback. Why?
Okay, so I think I got this is the AI overview. I'm not going to take the time to fact check here, but it says that I got it wrong. The word thornback is older than the word spinster. They mean the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It says that thornback specifically means she had passed her early 30s. Modern terms: single, unmarried, Ms., bachelorette.
Bachelorette. Blech.
Oh my god, we are not even halfway through this rude ass paragraph about Aunt Harriet.
All right, we got to keep
It's
going.
getting worse. Aunt Harriet had a pig-like snout and thin lips that naturally curled up in disdain. You don't think they are perhaps curled up in disdain because everyone hates her for being a spinster?
Everyone's so mean.
She's a fucking thornback. Okay, back off. She had thick limbs and plump fingers with multiple chins, and fat rolls made all the more apparent by the tight clothing she wore. She's giving Aunt Marge from Harry Potter.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, maybe she wants to be a fat slut. Like, leave her alone.
What if she's actually so cool?
Yeah.
She just kind of doesn't like kids. Aunt Harriet was always savvy to the fashion scene, as she called it. That's what everyone calls it. And would dive for the chance to make others feel inferior to her because their clothing wasn't wholly up to her standards.
Okay.
Aunt Harriet was also a very unapproachable, outspoken, opinionated lady who thought that she knew everything and that everyone desired and appreciated her input. That, kids, is what we call telling instead of showing. Why should we believe the narrator?
Yeah. Just a mean kid.
So the moment that the three children heard the doorbell ring, they turned to each other in horror. Run! Molly, Christopher, and David ran for the closet. It was a walk-in closet with a lot of room, so the three scrambled inside and shut the door behind them. They waited in silence among the dress-up costumes and normal clothes. Molly seriously considered changing into some more reasonable clothes then and there, but she knew that her mother would be disappointed. It is really hard for a daughter, especially an eldest daughter, to disappoint the old mommy.
Yeah, it's true. There's
There's so many things I'd rather do. Yeah.
Yeah.
To this very day. Leela and I were at my mommy's house like a week or two ago,
Yeah.
and we did not disappoint her.
No, she's great.
The closet was dark, illuminated only only a little by the crack under the door. Christopher and David were silent as Molly bent down to put her ear to the floor. The children had discovered a few years prior that if one were to press his or her ear to the hardwood at any place on the top floor, he or she could hear exactly what was going on in the room below. You see how fucking clunky it is to do he or she instead of they? It's clunky as hell.
You're
I did
right.
it twice in one sentence.
Yeah, they is much better.
Molly could hear the soft upspeak of her mother greeting Aunt Harriet. I'm glad I was doing the voice the right way. And Harriet's deep boom in return. It was difficult to make out all the words, but Molly heard most of what was happening. Do you want to do Aunt Harriet?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's deep boom. Let me not do like a boy voice.
We have to leave it here so we can both see it.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Mrs. Everhart said hello to Aunt Harriet, and Aunt Harriet demanded a hug. Oh, would you rather do Mrs. Everhart or Aunt Harriet? You're better at voices. That's why I wanted to give you the funner voice.
No, I got Harriet.
Okay.
I can handle it.
Mrs. Everhart said hello to Aunt Harriet, and Aunt Harriet demanded a hug. After a pause, she demanded one from Mr. Everhart, too. Oh, right, said Mr. Everhart immediately. He was nearly as intimidated by Aunt Harriet as the children were. Good.
Aunt Harriet spoke again to Mrs. Everhart. Catherine, you have got to get your driveway redone. It's awful. It's no smoother than a bed of gravel.
So, modern times. Driveway repaved.
Yeah.
That's so Y2K. Sorry, Harriet, said Mrs. Everhart. She's getting higher pitched and scared her. There was a lull. Molly wondered what was going on.
Harriet spoke again. Catherine, where are the children?
I'll go get them, Mr. Everhart offered immediately. Don't bother. I'll get on it. Molly turned to her brothers. Daddy's coming to find us. Oh, no, cried David. What do we do? Asked Christopher. They're getting more and more British.
Yeah, I was like, I think I'm going to go British with it as well.
Molly clapped a hand over each of their mouths as she heard the floor creak outside of their bedroom. A knock came at the door. Kids, called Mr. Everhart. Kids, Aunt Harriet is here to see you. None of the children moved. Mr. Everhart knocked again. Come on, Molly, Christopher, Aunt Harriet is waiting. Molly slowly lowered her hands from the mouths of Christopher and David. They listened as their bedroom door opened. Mr. Everhart took one step into the room, and then another, until Molly was certain that he was standing directly in the center of the room. There was the sound of Mr. Everhart spinning in a circle on his heels. Hey, Leela, what's that sound? The sound of a man spinning in a circle on his heels?
I don't know.
I don't think there is one.
Men they don't be swiveling.
I think that they just, if you're spinning on your heel stays in one place. There's no like clacking. You're just
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe like an awkward squeak.
Like yeah, the floor squeaking. He stopped and clapped his hands together once, making Christopher and David jump. Ugh, there's no Aunt Harriet in this section. Oh, it's coming. Oh, well, said Mr. Everhart loudly. I guess they're not here. Maybe I'll just clean up some of this mess. What mess? Molly wondered. She'd clean the entire room in anticipation of Aunt Harriet, and then her brain caught up with the rest of the world. Aha! Cried Mr. Everhart, lunging forward with a wooden sword and yanking open the closet door. A good dad. There was a collective sharp intake of breath from Molly, Christopher, and David, and then they stood stationary while Mr. Everhart put the sword calmly in a bin next to the hamper. He then looked at his three children. Why on earth are you hiding in the closet? Aunt Harriet, said the three together. They knew that there was no escape now. Mr. Everhart rolled his eyes, but the children knew that he understood. He took a hand each of Molly and Christopher in his own and directed them out into the hallway. David followed behind. Do you want to read this part?
Yeah. Aunt Harriet was waiting for the children in the den. Her suitcase was resting on the steps, and her fanny was resting in Mr. Everhart's armchair.
Aunt Fanny!
Aunt Harriet was wearing an extremely low-cut pink shirt with no sleeves.
Slut.
That's a big old slut. Leaving her arm fat to roll over the arms of the chair.
I had no idea how much arm fat I would come to have someday.
She had on jeans that Molly identified as the sort that the popular girls at her school wore.
All right, jeans is undeniable.
Yeah.
This is not 1910.
No. They were tight and low cut with very small pockets.
So I guess I was like, this is my angle. I'm going to make a modern Peter Pan. But it doesn't make sense because like none of the
dialogue's still pretty stilted.
The dialogue's stilted, and also I think what we're about to get is a scene where Aunt Harriet is like, it's time for you to grow up and think about getting married and stuff. But like not in 2003.
She's been 12. What are we, Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah.
Aunt Harriet's shoes were another matter entirely.
Uh-oh.
They were jet black and shiny, as if they were made from some deceased animal. Which
I wonder if I knew what leather was.
Which, in parentheses, Molly realized in horror they probably were, with heels at least 2 or 3 inches high. The thing that boggled the children.
That's not that high.
No, but I will say, the heavier you get, the harder it is to wear heels. So, good on her. Sounds painful. The thing that boggled the children the most, though, was the toe of the shoe. It wasn't curved or soft. It came to a point, as if Aunt Harriet had one big pointy toe instead of 5 rounded ones of varying lengths.
I will admit, I have always... Oh, this looks like you're about to sneeze. I have always strongly disliked a pointy-toed shoe. That's a personal preference. When I was a kid, I was very hateful about the stuff that I didn't like personally. As an adult, I'm like, well, I'm not going to wear those. That's not my favorite outfit you've ever worn. Not that it matters. But I've always fucking hated a pointed toe.
For me, my feet are a bit wide, so like
she's a little hobbity, guys.
Yeah, I really am. I even have to shave my toes sometimes.
Oh, me too. I did that yesterday.
Aw.
Dear, I don't know why I remember this specific. I've always remembered. Maybe I think this is maybe what made me realize that I could and should shave my toes. But there's a scene in That's So Raven where they're like throwing a party and Chelsea is in the bathroom and she's putting invitations under the stall doors, and she says she hands one to someone and is like, oh, and if you're gonna come to the party in open-toed shoes, you probably want to shave your toes.
Oh, damn.
I know.
Damn, Chelsea.
And I was like, 16-year-old me was like, oh
my god,
I got hair on my toes.
There's some hairs here, just the big one.
It's illegal for girls to have hair toes.
So stupid. Okay. Oh god. Okay, the thing that boggled the children the most, that was the toe. Okay.
Molly was
going to whisper about this in Christopher's ear, but Mr. Everhart pushed the 2 boys forward past her.
Go on, he said optimistically. Say hello to your Aunt Harriet. Molly, experiencing a sudden feeling of being the oldest child, carefully approached Aunt Harriet. Eldest, daughters. She kept her head down and took a few steps across the room to her father's armchair. But once she reached the chair, Molly realized she didn't know what to do. So she merely glanced at Aunt Harriet and muttered, hello, Aunt Harriet.
Hold your head up, girl, commanded Aunt Harriet. Molly peeked up at her aunt through the gap in her hair, which she was letting hang down in front of her face.
I did that a lot back then. 2006 or whatever.
Yeah.
Hair totally in my face, Avril Lavigne style.
Like Violet from The Incredibles.
Oh, yeah.
/ also, do you remember when Erin from The Office has a panic attack at lunch with Michael and she puts all her hair in front of her face and she says, this is my safe space. When I was in the orphanage, when I was in the foster home, my hair was my room.
Oh my God, I don't remember that at all.
It's really funny.
I used to, my hair... I have at different times in my life really let my hair hang in my eyes. Like, remember when I had like side bangs a couple years ago? And it's because my left eye doesn't work. So like my hair can just like hang over this eye and it does not change my vision.
Oh.
I'm not joking. I'm like not being dramatic when I say it like doesn't work. Like my brain doesn't process anything that my left eye does. It's like a dead eye.
What? I didn't realize you had a dead eye.
Like if I close my right eye, technically there is light input. Like there's technically information here. But when both my eyes are open, it's called amblyopia.
Amblyopia?
Yeah. My left eye does not get processed.
Wow.
Is that interesting? So think like my bangs can be totally over my left eye and it doesn't matter at all.
Wow.
So I spent a lot in college, my friend Alexis used to say that she could tell how depressed I was by how much of my face she could see.
That's pretty funny. Okay. Aunt Harriet reached out to touch Molly's chin, bringing her face out of the shadows. Sit down, boys.
David and Christopher immediately sat down on the couch with Mrs. Everhart. Mr. Everhart then noticed that being the only one standing would draw attention to himself and plopped down on the piano bench.
Stand up straight, Molly, Aunt Harriet directed. Molly finally surrendered to standing up tall with her feet together, her hands behind her back and her head up high. Aunt Harriet grinned. Very good. What school is she in, Catherine?
Mrs. Everhart answered, Mallory Lee Davis. All three of them. Whatever the fuck that, like a finishing school or some shit. That sounds, Mallory Lee Davis School sounds like a finishing school.
Yeah, that's how you spell your middle name though, right?
Yeah, Lea.
Yeah.
Come steal my identity.
Oh my God. And Aunt Harriet wrinkled her nose. A public school, she said. Catherine, really?
Still you.
Mrs. Everhart didn't respond. Aunt Harriet gestured for Molly to step closer. Come nearer me, Molly, so I can evaluate you.
That is a direct translation of the line in the film, walk toward me, dear, that I may appraise you.
Okay.
That's the exact line she says in the film. And it's scary. Walk toward me, dear, that I may appraise you.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Ah."
Wendy's like, ugh.
Molly didn't really want to get anywhere near the proximity of that plump face laden with makeup, but edged slightly closer with inward resentment.
Still you. She's really railroading the scene.
Yeah. What is this dress? Hold on. It's getting to be a little too much grandmother.
It's your grandmother from Jazz's Confessions.
What is this dress?
Jasmine!
Asked Aunt Harriet, reaching forward to finger Molly's hem at her knees. Whoa. To finger her hem at her knees.
It's okay to finger stuff. You're doing it right now.
Okay. Oh my God, I am. Molly's dress was the sort younger girls wore in the summer.
Not that I knew what that was called. Like a pinafore style, maybe?
Yeah, which made sense since it was August.
Perfect.
Great. The dress was orange and pink striped with no sleeves and ended just above her knees.
It's the only dress I own, Aunt Harriet, said Molly boldly.
Boldly. That, oh, that going a little Scottish there.
Shrek us.
That'll change. Oh my God. That will change. That.
They're not, none of them are
I know,
British.
but I think that's the only way to avoid the grandmother.
It's good, yeah.
That'll have to change. No, that's skewed Daniel Radcliffe. Okay.
Okay, I thought it was good until you said Daniel Radcliffe, and now I realize it is Daniel. That was crazy. Don't take it again. Just commit.
I think
to
what's
Daniel.
really hard is that I really want to be shrill, and I can't because she has a low voice.
Why don't you say shall instead of that'll?
That shall have to change.
Is that better?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Said Aunt Harriet resolutely.
But Aunt Harriet, said Molly without thinking, I don't like dresses.
Aunt Harriet leaned backwards in her armchair.
Oh, God.
Molly immediately regretted saying anything.
Oh, God.
Aunt Harriet didn't answer Molly for a long time. So
God.
Scary. Or a few seconds. Molly wasn't certain. Then Aunt Harriet gestured with her finger for Molly to spin in a circle. Molly complied.
Happens in the movie.
Aunt Harriet watched her intently, and when she stopped Aunt Harriet, there's no comma, and when she stopped Aunt Harriet, cleared her throat and turned to her sister.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Catherine, she said, Molly is developing a body.
A body? Repeated David.
Aunt Harriet glared at him, and he shut his mouth and sunk back into the couch.
Do you remember which is younger and which is older?
No.
Okay.
I want to say David must be the baby, right?
I don't know.
Okay. I guess it doesn't really
Maybe,
matter.
Yeah. But Aunt Harriet, said Molly, haven't I always had a body?
A figure, Molly. I thought it was going to be the Mr.
A figure, Molly.
Miss-
Mrs. Everhart explained. Do you remember how stunningly beautiful Mrs. Darling is in that movie?
Yeah,
She
what
is
actress is that?
I don't remember. I don't feel like I've recognized her anywhere else, but she's like so beautiful.
Oh, I mean, they
When
are a
she's-
hot
When
couple.
she's like, there's this, I don't remember, they're talking about like a secret kiss or something, and it like closes up on her face, and she has this little like cheeky little like, oh, it's so beautiful.
Well, you can really want to watch that right now.
Oh, yeah. We told Rachel she could come on for that episode, so we'll have to wait a little while until she doesn't have a newborn anymore.
Oh, okay, I don't know if I can wait. But that's okay. A womanly figure. Aunt Harriet cooed. Oh no, corrected.
Scrolled too quickly. Dude, this is how Harry Potter and the Boys. Okay, here's the thing. Harry Potter and the Boys, which is a podcast I enjoy. It's so barely about Harry Potter. It's like this crazy fanfic. Oh yeah. We've read it on the show. Radio Mike was on the show reading Harry Potter and the Boys.
Yeah.
But their podcast, they read together from one iPad. And their Patreon has video. I'm not on their Patreon, but I want to know how they do it easily. Do they just I don't know. Maybe they don't try to face each other. Maybe they like only face the camera, but that feels unnatural to me.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they don't both each have one.
No. They talk a lot about the iPad. Getting shuffled around and like dying and stuff. Like,
okay.
There's one.
A lot of iPad talk.
Yeah, a lot of iPad talk. Molly was confused. What did she need a womanly figure for? She had been perfectly content with her old figure. What's a figure for?
Mrs. Everhart opened her mouth to answer, but Aunt Harriet interrupted her. For attracting boys, my dear.
Boys, repeated Molly. Boys, said Mr. and Mrs. Everhart, looking at each other. Boys, asked David. Ew, said Christopher. But Harriet, said Catherine. Now she's Catherine. That's mom.
Okay.
Molly's only 12 years old.
Almost 13, said Aunt Everhart.
What the fuck? I'm getting confused. They wouldn't have the same last name because Catherine's married.
Yeah, isn't it her? It's her sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost a teenager. Teenagers need to think about these things.
Not yet, Harriet, said Mrs. Everhart. Molly's not quite there yet. You go, Mrs. Everhart.
Aunt Harriet eyed Molly, who was twisting a lock of her hair anxiously, and then turned back to Mrs. Everhart. Welcome to the new millennium, Catherine.
Oh, Y2K.
There it is.
Y2K. I watched an episode of King of the Hill yesterday that was the Y2K like New Year's episode, and everyone's freaking out about the computers.
Yeah.
And Hank is like gonna buy Peggy a computer for Christmas, but then he's like, none of this technology will make it, so he buys her a grandfather clock instead, and she's so fucking pissed. It's really good.
Welcome to the millennium. Welcome to the new millennium, Catherine. Things are different now. With this said, Aunt Harriet looked down to inspect one of the rings on her pudgy forefinger, while the family stared at her.
It's giving J.K. Rowling levels of fat phobia.
It does feel that way.
I can't mention her without mentioning that she's fat.
Yes. Fat equals evil.
Yeah, it does in this time.
After a moment, she said, "Kids, go make your aunt a pot of coffee."
We're about to date this so hard, guys. I know we already said new millennium, but Christopher and Molly ran into the kitchen. David lagged behind them, asking, "And may I have a hot pocket?" A hot pocket. When's the last time you had a fucking hot pocket?
College. Yeah.
The children shut the door behind them, and Christopher felt around in the cabinet for a coffee filter. David sat himself down at the kitchen table. And Harriet's fatter than last time. David, cried Molly as she whipped around, failing to resist a chuckle. That's not nice. But it's true. Let's see. How many pages? 1, 2, 3. Should we finish it?
Sure.
There's 3 pages
Let's just
left.
go get on through.
We're at a little over an hour, so I think that's perfect.
Okay, but it's true.
You want to start flipping paragraphs?
Sure.
Okay.
Christopher put on the coffee while Molly heated up a hot pocket for David. When it was all set, the two joined David at the table.
I don't know why the hot pocket's making me giggle. It's just so cute.
It's so
it's like a youngest eldest sibling
and
thing to do. Like, she's young, but she still is the caregiver, so she's gonna make her brother a hot pocket.
I think it's very interesting that the two little boys know how to make coffee.
Maybe it's something cute that they like do for their parents or something. I don't know. Like, Freya, Brooke's kid, is gonna grow up knowing how to make coffee.
That's so true. Yeah. When it was all set, the two joined David at the table. They sat in silence until Molly realized, of course, they're talking about us.
Christopher and Molly looked at each other. Okay, so I do think they're older.
Okay.
Because he made the coffee too.
Yes. Okay.
Christopher and Molly looked. Also, Christopher's my older cousin, so I probably picture him as older in my head. They dashed over to the door. Molly inconspicuously opened the door about an inch and peered through the gap. I don't know if I've ever had a kitchen with a door on it. I know that some places do, but
Yeah, I don't think that's something I ever had.
no. I feel like a kitchen with a door is what you have if you have servants and you don't want to look at them.
Yeah, maybe it's a swinging door.
A swinging door. The adults were sitting in almost the exact same places, except Mr. Everhart had moved from the piano bench onto the couch with Mrs. Everhart. Aunt Harriet was lecturing to them in a firm tone, and Molly shushed David's incessant banter to listen. Incessant banter, that's the youngest child.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no one's fucking listening to
Have you ever wondered about...
Have you ever wondered how Hot Pockets grow? What do farmers plant to get Hot Pockets?
Catherine, I'm just gonna be grandmother.
Go grandma. We don't
right.
need more than like 4 voices on this show.
I'm really struggling with this voice. It's the
Grandmama.
deepness.
Yeah.
Catherine, Aunt Harriet was saying, this will all be for the best. Now listen to me before you respond.
Silence.
Catherine!
Mrs. Everhart jumped. Oh, yes. Okay.
Aunt Harriet
God.
cleared her throat. I would, can you imagine? I would never fucking let my sister talk to me like this.
Or my fucking kids. Are you kidding me?
No.
No way, dude. Like, an oldest daughter is often headstrong.
Yeah.
I'm bossy to my brothers, but I'm not like,
yeah,
I demand an answer.
that's crazy.
That's
yes,
really
ma'am.
Like, absolutely. And, like, I don't think a sibling would. There must have been maybe, like, not that much oversight of them growing up and maybe some, like, abuse.
Well, it seems like they said she was much older,
So
too.
if, let's say Catherine is 5 and Harriet's 15 and they're
Yeah.
left alone together a lot
Yeah.
and Harriet is not fucking happy about it and she's just mean.
Yeah.
That sucks. And I don't think it's realistic. I'm sure it happens, but I'm thinking
Yeah.
about my mom whose sister is 12 years older than her and like loved taking her around, would take her on dates and stuff and was just like totally like a mom to her.
Yeah.
You know?
I was 10 years older. I am 10 years older than my my youngest babyest brother.
The one who just got married?
Who just got married,
Aw.
yeah. So I grew up like taking care of him a lot.
Yeah, same.
I loved it though.
Same with my
But
YY.
I was a real Babysitters Club wannabe.
Babysitters Club. Yeah, totally.
So.
I had a Babysitters Club. I still kind of do.
Oh yeah.
When
you
I
do.
can't babysit, I'm like, I can start calling friends.
Yeah, it's so true. Okay, she jumped. Yes, okay. Aunt Harriet cleared her throat and settled back into her chair. Firstly, Molly needs her own bedroom.
Silence.
Respond, Catherine.
Mrs. Everhart was growing used to this. We don't have another bedroom, Harriet.
What about the room I'm staying in?
That's the guest room, sewing room, dog room combination. Oh, as if Aunt Harriet would sleep in the dog room.
Yeah, really.
Also, where's the dog? I mean, obviously,
Oh,
Nana.
yeah.
There's going to be a Nana
Put her
moment.
away, probably. Aunt Harriet doesn't want to be around the dog.
Yeah, that's not very Aunt Marge-like.
No, Aunt Marge loves a bitch.
Loves a bitch. Yeah, I remember. There's something wrong with the bitch. There's something wrong with the pup. And when I read that when I was like 12, I was like,
Me too. Mom? No.
oh,
Aunt Harriet tapped her fingers together like this. Boop. Catherine.
like this.
Catherine.
Miss Everhart lowered her eyes to the ground in defeat. We'll strongly consider it.
Christopher and Molly exchanged looks. And, Aunt Harriet went on, Molly will not grow to be a decent woman if she attends Mallory Lee Davis with her brothers.
Such a dumb school name.
Mallory Lee. It's like Mallory Lee.
Mallory Lee. Wait, they call me Mallory Lee because of my height. I'm glad that we referenced that in a couple episodes ago, so it's fresh in the listeners' minds.
She should be at an all-girls private school, maybe even a boarding school.
Boarding school! Exclaimed Christopher and Molly together. The adults' heads whipped toward the kitchen, and Molly and Christopher backed away from the door. After a moment, the grown-ups resumed their conversation. We can't send her away, Harriet, reasoned Mrs. Everhart. We can't do that.
Well, whatever. Aunt Harriet waved it off. Just do something.
Just do something about your wild daughter who likes to read. Mrs. Everhart stared at the floor again. Yes, Harriet.
Christopher's jaw dropped. He turned to Molly and whispered, "Why is Mama being such a doormat? She's letting Aunt Harriet boss her around."
Molly shook her head. Grown-ups are confusing, Christopher. I am absolutely terrified of becoming one. And you know what, Molly? You're fucking right. It's not that great.
It's so weird that they're called. I don't think I've ever met a boy or man who goes by Christopher and not Chris.
It's because it's like British, like it's definitely being two things at once.
Yeah. Aunt Harriet was speaking again. "Finally, Catherine, Molly must spend less time with her brothers and more time with her friends."
Christopher and David are her friends, pointed out Mr. Everhart.
"What?" said Aunt Harriet sharply.
Gotta do the dialogue tag. Nothing. Why nothing?
Why is everyone so fucking scared of her?
I don't know. Just kick her out of your house.
Like, maybe she like finances them in some way? That's all I could think.
It really depends. Like, it really depends on, I know that we're in 2002 or whatever, but that's what I'm saying. These dynamics only make sense in like 1902. You know
also,
what I mean?
like the idea of like a nursery where you put all your kids in one room is, I don't feel like that's something.
Not if you have money. If you have money, you don't do that.
But the Darlings had money.
I mean, today.
Oh.
Like today, you don't really do that anymore. You would only
True.
put all your kids in the same room if you couldn't afford anything more.
But that was just like a thing you did because like the houses weren't made for kids back then. So it was like, that's your room where like the toys and everything are.
It's like you're a kid or you're a grown up. Like it meant a lot. Kids used to like be seen and not heard. Like they used to like not really be considered people the same way. Just like schlep them all in the nursery. But I do think that if you have a spare bedroom, you give it to your oldest daughter before you make it a guest room. You know?
Yeah. Aunt Harriet went on. "She's beginning to act like a terrible boy, and it's because she's not socializing with enough girls of her own age."
What has she done that is she just doesn't like dresses. That's the only thing
the
that
only
Harriet's
thing.
witnessed.
This must be dealt with. Put her in a cotillion class or something.
My brother took cotillion. What began Mr. Okay. What began Mr. Everhart, stuttering at the thought of speaking in the presence of Aunt Harriet, which is something we couldn't know from Molly's point of view. What is cotillion?
Dancing and etiquette.
Oh, that's Mrs. R. Dancing and etiquette, Mrs. Everhart explained. Is it etiquette or is it just dancing? I think know.
They do teach you like weird table manners.
Because my brother took, I think, cotillion and etiquette.
Yeah, I think they
because
go
he wanted to. He was like 11
hand.
and he was like, yeah, I want to learn how to cut grapes politely.
I really just I wanted to do it because my rich friends were doing it and I wanted to be able to dance with boys.
Yeah. Etiquette, repeated Mr. Everhart. My Molly does not need lessons in manners.
Yeah. She does too, said Aunt Harriet. She acts like a little boy.
Harriet, really, began Mrs. Everhart, but Aunt Harriet stood up suddenly, shushing the Everharts.
This is all for Molly's own good, she said in her deep, booming voice. Now I am through talking with you. Aunt Harriet straightened out her shirt and walked across the room to the stairs. Let me know before you leave.
Molly let the door shut and sunk to the ground. She couldn't believe it.
Are Mama and Daddy gonna send you away, Molly? Asked David, abandoning his Hot Pocket to sit in Molly's lap.
Not the Hot Pocket. Molly embraced him and said, I hope not, David.
Christopher looked at his big sister long and hard. Finally, he decided, we won't let them, will we?
I won't, said David. And that's the end.
Oh my God.
That's kind of a good ending for having never finished this.
That's a good ending of a chapter.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So the name of this document is Jack in the Green. Do you know what that is?
No.
A Jack in the Green. I used to have a book of like mythological creatures, and I'm pretty sure Jack in the Green was in there. But I think he's basically like a Peter Pan / mythology Pan type.
Okay.
Like a fun trickster who like lives in the woods. So I'm sure instead of Peter, his name was going to be Jack.
Okay.
But I'm sure it was going to continue to beat for beat follow the 2003 Peter Pan film.
I get you. I feel like tried and probably got about this far or less far to do like a Narnia thing at one point.
Really?
Because I was extremely obsessed with those books, especially The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is the best one.
It fucking slaps.
It's so good. It's so creative and cool. It's cool in that same Tolkien-y way because they're besties.
Do you think you liked it extra or were exposed to it extra because of the Christianness of it all? So you were like encouraged to read that?
Yeah, and I started to read them definitely. Well, I don't know because I guess probably I was encouraged. Yeah, Christians fucking love C.S. Lewis, and my elementary school library was small, so I just eventually just like read everything. So I was like, yeah, I haven't read these books yet.
Yeah,
and then I love them.
I totally remember the Matilda days of like pulling every fantasy. Yeah. Cool. Well, do you want to play our little game?
Okay. Christina, do you think is that the name of the book?
Jack and the Green? That was my like working title.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think Jack and the Green is horny, sad, or just plain bad?
I think it's sad.
Why?
Because Molly's being forced to be someone she's not, and that's sad. And it made a lot more sense when Peter Pan was written, when it was really important for women to be marryable to save their lives. You know what I mean? Like the stakes were so much higher. But for some bitch to just come into a house and be like, you need to be more girly in like the year of our Lord, like 2004 or whatever, is like
very
there's no
strange.
reason. Yeah. I mean, there's of course uptight family members could and would do that, but it's just like the stakes are not the same. And so I think it's sad. And I also think it's sad that I thought I could just completely rip off Peter Pan. I don't know if it is in public domain. Oh, I'm having like a memory. It's old enough to be in public domain, but something about the estate, they keep doing something funny to not let it go. It is not public domain. I could never have published this. Yeah, something about it. I hate having memories like that where I'm like, I can't explain it to you, but I do remember something about Peter Pan. Do you think it's horny, sad, or just plain bad?
Horny for Aunt Harriet.
What?
Just kidding.
She's like, but what about boys?
Yeah, no, I guess I'm gonna go sad as well, but I guess makes me mad. It's more accurate. I don't like this
makes
weird
me mad is solid
themes. And it pisses me off that the parents are so quick to not stand up for their own daughter and just bow to the whim of a bossy sister.
Yeah, totally. So Peter Pan entered public domain last year, and that's because the play Peter Pan was published in 1928, and so the books and the characters have been public domain for longer, but the play, copyright's very messy, honestly.
Yeah, wow.
It's really messy, and that's why there's like a lot of lawyers and stuff who take care of that. So I actually wonder if we're about to see a big boom of Peter Pan stuff.
Yeah, I'm down. Well, wait, didn't that have you ever read that was it Dave Barry? It's like a funny guy, a funny author, wrote like that Pan series. It was like a fantasy version, like to explain how Neverland happened and like.
Oh yeah, and also Once Upon a Time had a bunch of Peter Pan shit too.
Cool.
Yeah. So I guess it has been in public domain for at least as long as Once Upon a Time, which was like around the same time it was coming out.
Yeah, I remember in Pan it was something about like there was like some kind of magical MacGuffin that like a ship that Peter's on sinks, and then like the magical MacGuffin gets in the water and then like turns all the fish into mermaids and like changes into a magic island.
And Once Upon a Time, season 3 spoilers coming up, y'all. And Once Upon a Time, Peter Pan is Rumpelstiltskin's father, who never wanted to grow up or have a son, so he abandoned his son and reversed his age.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he's a bad guy.
Wow.
And pretty cute. You know, when I was like 15, I was like, oh my God, Peter Pan. That Peter Pan's cute too.
I love all Peter Pans. You know, that was like that was like the first time I watched Peter Pan and I was like, something feels funny in between my legs.
Do you mean the 2003 one? Of course.
No. I don't mean the 2003 one. I mean the buck teeth animated one.
Okay, because for me it was the 2003 one.
I was already so horny. I had many horny experiences before then, and
I think
yes,
it
made me so horny.
I think I was a bit of like a late sexual
A late
bloomer.
horner.
I think I didn't get horny. Well, okay. All right, guys. I don't think I don't think I started experimenting with like masturbating at all until I was like 13 or 14. And I remember the first time I got horny because I'm pretty sure I was a freshman. I was 14 years old and I was at a school dance and we were grinding. And that'll do it.
That'll do it.
The old knee between the legs situation. And I remember because my boyfriend at the time wouldn't dance with me because he was way too self-conscious. So I was dancing with his best friend, Rory, who, as you know, I later dated. And so I was dancing with Rory and I was like, what is happening? And I remember exactly what I was wearing, like a turquoise knee length drop waist formal like gauze dress, and I was horny. And David got so mad that I was dancing with other people, and I was like, then dance with me, we're at a dance. And he just hated himself so much.
Oh,
he was also gay. We didn't know he was gay.
Yeah,
that'll do it. He could have danced with Rory. Rory was also gay.
Yeah,
God.
Secret. Everyone was gay.
Everyone was gay. Everyone was gay. Well, that's it for Burn Before Reading. Pause for yawn.
It's a really big one. Until next week, remember,
your cringe is part of you.
But mama.
I like that one. I like that one a lot.